I'm sorry, everyone. I know everyone's gonna come for me because you guys don't like the Nat, but she is like an intelligent woman. Like I think, look, a lot of these people don't have a business sense. I think Teddy has the business sense. So for everyone who thinks she's so boring, I mean, sometimes when you're a little boring when you're a business person. So
There you go.
yeah, you're right. I think it would be a step back for her. I think she would still take it. But she shouldn't. I mean, she's running, as you know, Sarah, when you run your own business, it's kind of the way to go. You can't be fired. You do things on your own terms. I mean, I just said no to
She's
some
going
things that
on tour, or well, I don't know, maybe they tried a tour date. I
no,
can't
one
remember, but
day.
one date. But she's got an incredible gig going, and she's really, everybody is now in the housewives world trying to emulate what those two women, two T's, have done. You're in a great position. I would think of ways to, how do I expand that and ride this gravy train for as long as these shows are around, instead of trying to, and she almost has this great thing where it's like, make Teddy happen. You know, I love the guy at BravoCon that got up and was like, stop making Teddy. I mean, it's kind of great. She's got this like hanger on her thing, but I think she's in a sweet spot. I would certainly appear as a friend here and there, as she did at Lorraine's
That's
memorial.
it, but she don't want it. She said it was just for Kyle. That's a
I
real friend.
Teddy is a genius person. She doesn't seem thirsty in the way of like wanting to be
Excuse
on.
me.
I mean, she's thirsty in like getting her podcast out there and thirsty at BravoCon, but I think that works for her. I think she leans into the dislike, and no, I think she's got a good thing going.
And by
Camille,
the
I want
way,
back and
Sutton
Kathy.
just did an interview and said that she and Kyle had dinner. They are trying to reconcile, but she is not there with Miss Kemsley at all. And Miss Kemsley, she feels, was egregious in this whole thing with the drinking problem, and it is enough. Stop saying we have a drinking problem for Sutton. Stop saying I don't eat. The day of the reunion was a close set. I ate breakfast and you always got a question in Beverly Hills when someone's starting to tell you all the meals they ate. You're like, yeah, this might ring true when you're like actually saying what I know that game Sun's track. I know it as I inject
Dorit,
myself with the
yeah.
Ozempic one other day. I get it, girl. Although, look, it doesn't work anymore. But apparently, Sutton says that she's having problems still with Dorit, but her and Kyle have had a lunch or a dinner, she said. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Dorit's on the outs. Dorit's long gone. And I also think Dorit's her own worst enemy in that, I think, showing up late. You know, she was 2 hours. She held everybody up for the reunion taping, 2 hours. You know, if you're Brad Pitt, you can get away with that. But after a while, it just becomes, I think it sounds like she's perpetually late. I can imagine behind the scenes. You know what I mean? She thinks her shit doesn't stink at this point, and it's getting, at least that's the perception. Maybe when we met her at Homeless Not Toothless, lovely, lovely,
Lovely.
gracious.
I told you, in a way, she's in a weird, fucked up way. And again, maybe this is just because I'm from the same place as her originally. She seems in a weird way the most down
I
to
love Dorito.
earth, as crazy as that is. But at the same time, yes, she does think her shit don't sing and she keeps people wait. Listen, she did very good on the after Oscars. She looked better than she did at the reunion. Here's the thing. That's what you should be doing. We're not bringing fashion police back. I speak to Melissa Rivers all the time. It's not happening. But, you can't show up late. If you can show up on time and be low maintenance, you could have some type of red carpet tied into fashion job because she does put herself together and it is fashion. In the hood, it was very high fashion, even though it was hideous. Not if you keep people waiting, you'll get fired from your first job. Nobody is going to put up with that bullshit. This is Hollywood. So, you know what I mean? But
And people can say what they want, but they raised a ton of money that night for people. And they had people that have been impacted by Homeless Not Toothless, people that were down and out, vets. And, you know, your mouth and your teeth are the gateway to your health. Really, they control so much, your brain health, your gut health,
yeah.
if you've got rotting teeth and gum disease. So he does do a lot of good work, and so does she. But I just think the perception now is that Dorit is high maintenance and a lot of work. And they were all against her. And you've always said, if you don't have a friend, this is what happened sort of to Rinna, although Rinna had EJ. There was some other things going on there. But if you don't have a friend, you can't really continue. And Anna Marie seems to be the only one that's maybe her friend. And maybe they'll keep her because maybe it's Anna Marie, Dorit, Kyle, Morgan, and then you have Sutton, Crystal, and Garcelle, and maybe that all. And then they're going to throw.
But even without Anna Marie, I mean, even without Dorit, Anna Marie will have to just find her own way. You know what I mean? Like, look, we have Erika filming scenes with Crystal. I mean, these lines are fluid. And it's not like people hate Anna Marie. I mean, on the cast, like she will work her way in there somewhere, right? I mean, her and Crystal could be the best friends. That's interesting. But I mean, Sutton also has said recently, like, I'm not as bothered about the esophagus. She's not bothered by the esophagus, actually. Sutton is not, no problems with, somehow Sutton has only a problem with Dorit, which, yeah,
They all
tells
do.
you,
They want
tells
Dorit
you,
gone.
it's like, she was great. Some of the greats go. Vicky Gumbelson is gone. I mean, she's a friend of, but the whole Roni cast is gone. I mean, yeah, I feel it. I feel it. It wouldn't shock me, but it wouldn't shock me if everyone's back. But this audience has, every time I post, is like snooze fest to the season. So I hear the people. I hear the people. It wasn't the most exciting season, Sarah. It wasn't.
No. Speaking of Vicky G, what did you make of her on the red carpet? Vicky G, what did you make of her on the red carpet? I thought being asked about where she stands with the Tres Amigas, and I thought it was a very soft answer. I thought,
she said, like,
Tres Amigas has made up. She said,
we'll
nothing
be friends or
negative
something
about the rat. She said Tamara had an issue with the drinking. We wanted to come out to a song. I don't know, whatever. Some drinking song. And Tamara had an issue with that, given Shannon's DUI. And of course, Vicky said, I stand by my friends. And obviously Shannon made a mistake. And it was I thought, oh, the Tres Amigas have made up behind the scenes. This is just good for publicity to get Vicky and Shannon's tour out there. And they're continuing to go on tour. And she just said, well, we're all very busy. And Tamara had a problem with that, and I understand. And now we got to move forward. It's the Dos Amigas instead of the Trace. And but I thought, oh, this is pretty. I don't know. I thought this was. I think they've been friends a long time, and I think they fight like cats and dogs, and then they get back together and like cats and dogs. And
look,
what do you think? What you got over there?
I mean, sometimes I hear things and know things. Like, look, Vicky went. She filmed. It is true that she's come back to support her friend Shannon and give it to Tamara. She's given it to Tamara. She has problems with Tamara. She feels let down. She feels Tamara, I see it both ways, pulled out of this commitment, the Tres Amigas. I don't buy Tamara's bullshit. She didn't like the song and this and that. The rat that scurries, she's in the corner. We all thought she liked Munster. We know she likes Gouda. Her favorite cheese is Gouda. But Miss Rat, I believe, has a black soul, and I believe she will do anything that is good for her. So I don't buy this, like, you didn't like the song.